still got my part to play. I gotta become champion, and that's very important. I feel like a lot of dudes even been spoon fed and to a title and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Xander, but you just
Oh
know,
shit.
how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know how
Um.
it goes, but I'm
hmm
not too worried about that. I know I got a big fight on the horizon versus Virgil Ortiz, and that's a big fight that fans want to see. Like, um, they're trying to line him up with Boots. I watched the Boots fight on Saturday, and all I hear is just Boots and Ortiz, and I'm
That
like,
was my next question. Yep. Go
and
ahead.
I'm just looking at that shit, laughing like they're overlooking me. So it's just like, this is great for boxing. Lima is not a that dude ain't he ain't shit. I ain't
Right.
gonna lie, he ain't shit. Um, Eddie's a great
Started boxing,
promoter.
I think, at 18. I think.
18,
Yeah.
like come
Early,
on, man.
late.
Yeah, well, teach his own, but I just feel like this is more of a fight. This is a great fight for boxing right here. Like the whole sport has their eyes open to this fight right here. Um,
Especially now that the Fundora and Keith Thurman October 25th is not happening. I mean, this
right.
is the only fight we're looking forward to at 154 pounds for sure.
Yeah. Yep. I know it. I know it. Um, yeah, I'm out here in Vegas. I was gonna go to that fight, but shit
That would have
happens.
been fly. Nah, but you gotta focus.
Yeah,
You
for
gotta
sure.
definitely focus.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Well, what's your reaction to that fight? I mean, you saying he ain't shit, right? And even Stanionis came out and said that yeah, his defense is not good. He has his chin up in the air when he's throwing all the punches, and he doesn't even bring it back home either. So I mean, a lot of people were looking at it was like this is worse than a tune-up. This is more like an oil change.
Well, I guess so, man. I don't know. Eddie's a great promoter, man. He does a lot of talking. He does a lot of talking, and he lined them up for Boots, and a lot of people knows that Boots is entering a new weight class, and he just did what he had to do. He just did what he had to do with that type of opponent in front of him.
You feel like anybody at the top level would have been able to do the same to that guy?
I can't speak for everybody, man. I can't speak for
Right.
everybody, but I know a talent like Boots, yeah, he gonna get somebody out of there like that for sure.
What what do you think about Boots' reaction saying that, you and Virgil are a 50-50?
He knows boxing. A lot of people are trying to just overlook me on this fight right here, but the real boxers and the boxing fans that knows boxing knows that this one of them ones.
Yeah. This is different. This is different because Jesus Ramos was like a really big win, but a bigger guy than Virgil Ortiz. You could clearly see there was a size difference.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is going to kind of factor you. We've seen a lot that Virgil has fought and a lot of smaller guys than him. Do you feel like that is kind of how do you view Virgil's career anyway? You know what I mean? Never been a champion as well.
Well, I do. I would like to say I don't really think he's fought nobody. Honestly, I don't really think he's fought nobody. I was just watching him versus Buhachuk and then him versus Madrimov. Those are the only two fights that I feel like those are his two best wins. Honestly, two best wins. Um,
Name recognition and
for
and
sure.
levels.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But even though
You,
Buhachuk,
the Mean
he
Machine, you ain't rocking with the Mean Machine win?
that was a pretty good win. Just because that dude fought Crawford and gave Crawford a problem in the first couple rounds and stuff like that. So people do look at it like that was a big win for Virgil stopping him and stuff like that. So I could put that on the list as well. But the Buhachuk and Majimov win are just average wins to me. To be honest, those are just average wins to me because Buhachuk, the first fight with Brandon Adams got knocked out, even though I think he was winning that fight. But then the second fight, Brandon Adams went back to the gym, did some fine tuning, and beat him like 9-3 to me. In my opinion, he beat that boy clear as day. And that style, styles do make fights, and that style is just, you know, that ain't really it. You know what I mean? He He sits there and he does throw a lot of punches and stuff like that, but that ain't true boxing to me. And then Majimov did a lot of unnecessary movement, and I feel like Majimov is a little bit inexperienced. I feel like it gave Bud some problems. Like he mentioned it in his last fight against Canelo that he just did a lot of feigning, no going, no nothing off of the feints. He just did a lot of feigning, that European style, and Bud really didn't have too much international experience in the amateurs and stuff like that. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So he it kind of threw him off a little bit, but he still got the win. But styles make fights, like I said before. And Virgil kind of knew that, and Virgil. I mean, it was a close fight with him and Virgil. Like I was watching that fight too, but Madrimal just a little bit inexperienced. He didn't fight the right fight. He did a lot of unnecessary movement, and like you kind of want to make somebody miss and make them pay for it, but he was just making a miss and then getting all the way out the way and just moving and moving and moving and moving and moving and not really throwing any punches to gain respect. So after a while, Virgil was like, hold on, this motherfucker just moving and feigning. That's all he's doing. So Virgil just took the initiative to go ahead and win the fight. Majimov didn't like move for a little bit, then make him miss and then make him pay with nothing to like solidify the rounds. He was just moving. He just moving and feigning.
Mhm. Mhm. And yeah, now I was watching the Lima and Boots fight as well, and I was listening to them, and they were just straight talking about the Virgil Ortiz fight, like you said. Sometimes they will mention the winner of you and Virgil. But tell me, like, do you feel? I know last time we talked, you and I said that I feel like a Boots fight with you would be huge. And you even said it to me, like, yeah, that's gonna be my big fight. And now we're here, right? You're
Yeah,
kind of like in the line. Do you feel like if all goes well with Virgil, that would be the fight that you want?
for sure. I like I said, I'll fight anybody. I do. It does sound great right now. It does sound great. It does sound like a big fight, but with just being completely honest, I got my own plans. Like I said, Virgil has the plans to fight Boots. You know what I mean? He wants to beat me to fight Boots. And I got my own plans. I got my plans to fight Fundora again. I got my plans to fight Charlo again. I feel like those are big fights. And not saying that I'm ducking any smoke, you know what I mean? But if it does present itself and Boots ends up with a world title or something like that, then yeah, we gonna make it happen. But right now, we all got our plans set in stone. We all trying to solidify um fights with him with Boots and myself with Fundora. But right now we got each other like in front of each other. That's all that matters right now. I'm not thinking too far ahead. I'm thinking about this fight right here. I'm waking up every day, going to the gym 2 3 times, maybe 4 times a day, so I could fight Virgil Ortiz. That's all that I'm worried about right now. All them other fights don't really matter to me right now.